103.3 FM and 1130 The Tiger, Shreveport's home for LSU sports.
Hey, just stop by to say hello, and my gosh, look how busy it is in here. How'd you get all these customers?
Yeah, this month has been a record breaker. You know, for a long time, we had decent business coming in by word of mouth, but we weren't growing. Lately, though, a lot of folks have been finding us online, and that's made all the difference.
That's terrific. I wish I could figure out how to do that with my shop, but I have no idea where to start.
Just do what I did. It's not as hard as you think. Go to mylocalcustomers.com to see exactly how many searches there are for businesses just like yours.
Okay, then what?
Well, if you see there are a good number of clients searching in our area, you'll also get some suggestions for the best way to get their attention.
Do you think there are a lot of people searching for my business?
Only one way to find out. Go to mylocalcustomers.com. It's quick, easy, and free. Go to mylocalcustomers.com for a free local customer analysis that will show you how many customers are searching online for your type of business. It's quick, easy, and free. Visit mylocalcustomers.com. That's mylocalcustomers.com.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
The following is made possible by Dad.
Why was the basketball court all wet? Because the players kept dribbling all over it.
The dad joke. Corny, groan-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
Why do you have to be careful when it's raining cats and dogs? Because you might step in a poodle.
And kids that spend more time with their dads grow up to be smarter, more successful.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding.
And, with any luck, funnier adults.
Why didn't the skeleton go to the dance? Because he didn't have any body to go with.
Dad jokes rule. So take a moment to make a moment and give your kid a laugh. It's as easy as going to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
That's really funny.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
when the storm rolls in, my time to find a pet-friendly evacuation center will have run out.
The scorching heat wave will leave me powerless to cool my insulin.
I'll face a hurricane without meds. Now that's a tough pill to swallow.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Tiger weather now.
Mix of clouds, increasingly breezy here this afternoon. A shower or two around. Record highs are possible. 85. Cloudy with showers and thunderstorms after midnight tonight. Low 67. Numerous showers and thunderstorms for Election Day tomorrow with a high near 70. And a mix of clouds, a slight chance of rain on Wednesday. Highs in the mid-70s. Richard DeWetting at the Weather Channel.
KWKH and K277DO Shreveport, 103.3 FM and 1130 The Tiger. Bossier City's home for LSU sports, a Town Square Media station. The following is a paid program. Participants of this program are not employees of this station, and their views, opinions, and claims do not necessarily represent those of Town Square Media, its employees, or advertisers.
The following program is paid for by Tim Fletcher.
Good afternoon. It's the Patrick Netherton Show.
Voice of the demons, right?
Yeah. Demons! Brined, marinated, or dry rubbed, it's sports the way you like it.
Sports Center Top 10 right there!
Talking to the biggest names. bringing you the best interviews.
He actually smokes his beans.
Thank you, Mr. Know-It-All.
The cooler is full and the brisket is resting.
Just a nice little pull and it comes right apart. That's perfect.
We eat ribs with this dude.
Here's your master of ceremonies, the Kansas City Barbecue Society certified expert.
Throw the fade, looking for Ferguson. Got it!
Patrick Netherton.
13-yard touchdown. Demons are back in it.
And good afternoon. We welcome you in. It's the Patrick Netherton Show right here on 1130 The Tiger. That's right, everybody. That's right. It is 1130 The Tiger. And, well, I guess we do have a bit of a headline to talk about to start things off here on the show. We've been calling for it for a bit, and it looks like it's finally happened. That's right. Dennis Allen is no longer the head coach of the New Orleans Saints. So, Saints fans, obviously we're talking to you at this point. What do you think? Right, this is a big deal. Saints have made the move. First time they fired a coach mid-season in almost 45 years. So, what do you think? Right, what are we? How are we feeling? We happy? We sad? We're maudlin, whatever. Also, Rogers, we have breaking news. Breaking news in the realm of the Saints and Cowboys. That's right. Breaking news. And the breaking news is Dak Prescott expected to miss multiple weeks of the season. He was being looked at for a hand injury in yesterday's game, but as it turns out, he also has a hamstring injury. And apparently the hamstring injury is a little worse than they thought. And so according to Ian Rappaport, breaking news, Dak Prescott expected to miss multiple weeks, which means that it is the Cooper Rush show starting this coming week for the Dallas Cowboys. So yeah, you want double-barreled unhappiness for folks around the Shreveport-Bossier area? You got it, kids. Although I guess I don't know. You never want to revel in someone's firing. Like that's poor taste, but it had to happen after you found a way to lose yesterday to the Panthers and made Bryce Young look like a really solid, good quarterback. You had to make that move. You didn't have a choice. And now you couple that with Dallas after losing again. Also, now is dealing with issues of their own having to do with injuries. You do wonder if there is potentially a time frame for Mike McCarthy to be let go. I don't know. It's interesting to say the least. So, yeah, we got all that going on. In betwixt and in between the start of college basketball season and the got that happening. We got college football continuing on. Had some fun games over the weekend. Man, I'll tell you what, college football feels like it after yesterday. College football feels like it was a month ago, and it was Saturday. It also didn't help that there were no late night college football games on Saturday. Everything was I think the last game started at 7 or 7:30 Central Time, so we didn't have that West Coast Pac-12 after dark, Hawaii None of that. We had none of that going on. So, yeah, just a wild slate. And then, like we mentioned, now you add to that college basketball is beginning tonight. Actually, college basketball's already begun. What a time to be alive. It is crossover season. And by the way, for those that care, I'll be on the air tonight at 6:30 with the inaugural game of Northwestern State men's basketball, and then I'll be back on the air tomorrow night at 6:30 for women's basketball. So we got all that going on. It is a wild time of the year with crossover season and everything going down, and now news being made with the Cowboys and the Saints, and man, just a lot happening. Yeah, Saints fans, I'd love to hear from you. Are you elated? Are you sad? Are you kind of resigned to the fact that that there needed something to happen? That this was a move that had to happen. I'd love to know where you're at, Saints fans, when it comes to this time frame and kind of where we're at. Meanwhile, you've got all kind of fun things going on. Women's basketball is underway. Juju Watkins and the USC women ranked number 3 in the preseason, currently down by 2 to Ole Miss with 30 seconds left to go. There's more coaches being let go. We got all kind of stuff happening, and it's a good time of year, man. It's absolutely a good time of year, and we'd love to hear from you, Saints fans and Cowboys fans. How are you feeling? Where are you at? What are you thinking? What's the thought process with Dak being injured? Is that a good thing for Mike McCarthy's job prospects? Obviously, he's had back-to-back 12-win seasons. So, like we talked about, Dennis Allen didn't really have any sort of buffer. Dennis Allen didn't really have any sort of goodwill built up where you could say, hey, he can absorb a bad season or two because this guy's been really good. It's just an aberration. No, bad seasons are who he is. And so he leaves. I believe he has the worst or second worst winning percentage among NFL head coaches that have had, X number of games, whatever it is, between the Raiders and now the Saints. And by the way, he's also the only coach in history to have been fired by 2 different franchises with the same quarterback in the middle of the season, fired in the middle of the season by 2 different franchises while having the same quarterback. So yeah, a lot of things going on at that point. And, now the question is kind of what does the rest of the season look like? Special teams coordinator Darren Rizzi is the interim. You didn't really have anyone on the staff that had any head coaching experience to speak of. So there was not a lot of talk about, hey, you could find someone that would come in and have that happen. You went from an absolute juggernaut the first 2 weeks. Granted, it does appear now that it was against 2 bad teams. The Panthers, who obviously just came back and beat you, and the Cowboys. But yeah, it's bad, man. It is bad. So I don't know. It's a thing that had to happen. Obviously, Dennis Allen has had a terrific impact on the Saints franchise as a defensive coordinator, but certainly did not have a tremendous impact on the Saints as a head coach. So you got that happening, and we got college football, and we got college basketball. So just a lot happening, a lot going on. Get in where you fit in. Would love to hear from you. Plenty of ways for you to get in touch. Now, I will say this. I have been a little lazy and a little busy getting ready for basketball season, so I do not have the Pearl Upset Special winner for this week. I got about halfway through it, and had to put it down working on basketball stuff for tonight. So just want to let everyone know that at this point, I do not have the Pearl Upset Special winners. I will work on that kind of during the breaks a little bit and see if I can get I'm hoping I can get done by the end of the show. If I can't, I will take care of it in the morning, and we'll deal with that. We'll deal with that tomorrow. So more than likely, we will name our Pearl Upset Special winner tomorrow. And apologies for that. And of course, don't forget, with college football being played all over the place, you do have opportunities to get your picks in all week long. You can certainly do that all week long. All right, so there you go. A couple of ways to get in touch with the show. You can call us if you like. The phone line is the Pearl Shreveport hotline. The Pearl Shreveport hotline is 318-RALLY-45, 318-725-5945. Hey, Coach O. Yeah, so find us on that. You can also reach us on the Bobby L. Greene Plumbing text line. The Bobby L. Greene Plumbing text line is 318-657-0HAM, 318-657-0426, also known as the Bobby L. Greene Plumbing text line. We are available, if you like, on, as we mentioned, 1130 on the AM dial, 103.3 on the FM dial. Also available on any of 4 streaming platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. All of those are available for you. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. If you want to find us there, it is Netherton Show on all of them except Twitter, or X if you'd rather. There it is at PT Netherton. So Facebook.com/Netherton Show, YouTube.com/@Netherton Show, Twitch.tv/Netherton Show, or at PT Netherton on Twitter/X. And again, if you do go watch, please like, please subscribe, please follow. Help us out with our metrics. We greatly appreciate it. All of those numbers help us. It increases our reach, increases the viability, also increases the amount of people that maybe want to be a part of the show and sponsor the show, and that's always good. That's awesome. We're always looking for new sponsors. And obviously, we're hoping if your business wants to get involved, come on. It's football season. We're moving into college basketball season. It's a good time to be involved on the Patrick Netherton Show. There's no doubt about that. So get your business involved with us over on the show. Again, just text me on the Bobby L. Greene Plumbing text line if you want to be involved. I'll get you in touch with the boss man, our dear leader, Tim Jong-un, and we'll get you hooked up and get you on the show, just like our friends at the Pearl Shreveport and Bobby L. Greene Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling have done. So they're happy sponsors. We get them plenty of business. When Matt Hollis and Hollis Dental was on here, we were getting him business. So let us help you get the word out about your company, because not only do we have the radio show on the radio dial, we also have a streaming platform that reaches a lot of people between Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. We reach a lot of folks, good reach, and that helps as well. And you get your logo on the screen at the same time. Get your Bobby L. Greene Plumbing logo, your Pearl Shreveport logo. That's on there all the time, so everyone who watches the stream gets to see that logo. All right, so find us in those ways if you like. We're also available on the app if you want to just tune in to the show. It is 1130 The Tiger. Search for that on Google Play or your iTunes App Store, and you can listen to us in crystal clear HD audio. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the man, the myth, the legend, Rogers E. Hampton Jr.
We represent the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild, and in the name of the Lollipop Guild, we wish to welcome you to Munchkinland.
Hey, boy!
Hey, boy.
Hey, you guys.
Hello.
What's up, my dude?
Monday.
It is. Rogers, in any way surprised by the Dennis Allen news?
No.
Okay.
especially once I looked at the schedule.
And what's the reasoning behind behind that?
Home the next 2 weeks, off the third week, and home again the next week. So the whole month of November, they are in New Orleans, where they can all sleep in their own beds, stay in their own facilities, not have to travel, and maybe they can kind of kumbaya a little bit and read together as a team. When I looked at that schedule, and I was like, they're not leaving New Orleans for a month. This had to happen.
Yeah, and it just you can't lose.
It almost was a good thing that they did lose to Carolina.
Yeah,
even though I didn't want them to.
You couldn't lose to Carolina. You just couldn't.
And they shouldn't have. But he pays the consequence of it. Now you got a whole month at home. You try to regroup. You get in there as a football player and try to kumbaya with your teammates and just see if you can just win a few games, because it was already going to be the people that showed up to those home games were going to be few and far between and leave early.
Right.
They weren't going to show up at all if they didn't fire him. Now there's a chance, at least during the Thanksgiving month, fans are going to show up just because it's new breath, it's new air, it's new positivity. Even if it's not a win, it's what they've been wanting. So I think this also had a lot to do with money and putting butts in the stands and buying souvenirs and hot dogs and food. And you're going to be in the month of Thanksgiving and nobody's coming to 3 home games. It was just an economic thing.
Yeah, and I do wonder, Rogers, what will that mean to the attendance? You know, because it's. I mean,
think it went from being sparse to people are going to show up because they just now they can at least do something and not feel like they're just hating the main man in charge of their team.
I mean, it feels like maybe it's more like, okay, we pulled the plug on the season, like it needed to happen. You've proven to us, the fan base, and obviously I'm speaking for people of New Orleans, you've proven to us, the fan base, that you understand why we're frustrated. You understand why we don't like what's going on. And so you made the move. It does feel like people, Rogers, I think people might just show up to kind of party. You know what I mean? Like, I think people might just show up to just have a good time.
The deep black cloud is gone. It's just going to be a light gray one. But it is Thanksgiving month and holidays and families, and you had to do something to try to put a little icing on the cake. And even if they don't win any of these games, but all 3 of them are winnable. But the fact that they're going to be at home for a month in their own beds, going to their own facility day in and day out, if you were ever going to do it with a chance to at least, you're not going to save the season, but you can maybe end with some respectability.
Yeah. As Rogers mentioned, you go Falcons at home, Browns at home, off week, Rams at home, and then you move from there. I don't know. I don't know what, I don't have any idea what you can do at this point. Like, I don't know what Darren Rizzi does that's gonna change a lot. Maybe he, Dennis Allen, what was it, 4th and 1 from midfield, basically, with a chance to go ahead and maybe ice the game, and they chose not to. They punted it away, and Carolina, goes down the field and scores. I don't know. I don't know what changes with Rizzi in there as opposed to Dennis Allen. Maybe he kind of gives the I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. I don't know what'll be different. I think more than anything, it'll just be the mentality, right? It'll just be sort of the emotional aspect of things that will change for the Saints, because they obviously are mired in a sort of emotional, mental jungle, having lost 7 in a row. And the crazy thing is, you look at their losses. Lost to the Eagles by 3, lost to the Falcons by 2, lost to the Panthers by 1. If you flip those, and this team is currently sitting here at having won 5 and being 5-4 and a game out of first place, then I wonder if the mentality is different, right? Obviously, you're not firing Dennis Allen at 5-4, but I do wonder if mentally, emotionally, the fan base would feel a little differently about things at 5-4. Because at 5-4, you're still not great. You still would have had a 13-point loss to the Chiefs. You'd still have the blowout to the Buccaneers. You still have the blowout to the Broncos and the blowout by the Chargers. Now, again, if you're If you win the Eagles game and you win the Falcons game and you're 4-0, then who's to say that the Chiefs, that game may not turn out differently? Who's to say that the Buccaneers game may not turn out differently if you're 4-1 going into it as opposed to 2-3? And if you're 4-0 going into the Chiefs game as opposed to 2-2, who's to say that the mentality may not be differently and the game may not have gone differently? And we don't know. That's what we can't know. And that's sort of that's the sort of alternate universe theory, and we just have no idea. We can't know what may have happened in the various scenarios. We have no way of knowing. So, yeah, this is going to be a really fascinating offseason. Apparently, they're going to be searching for a coach during the course of the season. That's apparently going to happen. We will see. We will see. So, yeah, I'm very interested to see how this will play out from here. Again, played well enough to win last week, played well enough to win yesterday. Your defense showed up for you and did some things, but you didn't, you got nothing. Honestly, the only two games the Saints played that they didn't have a realistic opportunity to win was the Buccaneers game. And by the way, that game was, they were up at halftime, as I recall, right? Wasn't that the game they scored 27 in the second quarter and were up at halftime, right? So, you had a reasonable shot to win the Buccaneers game. And certainly the Broncos game wasn't a blowout until kind of got into the third and fourth quarters. And the Chargers game, that was a low-scoring affair until late. So you had plenty of opportunities to win. The real issue is, for whatever reason, Dennis Allen, as a head coach, struggles to find ways to win. And close games, they don't win. Blowout games, they don't tend to win. Like, he just, for whatever reason, whatever the moxie is, whatever the intangibles are that turn a coach into someone who Andy Reid is undefeated this year with the Chiefs, and they have not played great football. Like, they're 7-0, and it's not like they've been world beaters. Mahomes hadn't been throwing for 300 yards a game. They've just kind of been finding a way to win. That's what winners do. They figure out a way to get wins. Look at Juju Watkins, right? I was just talking about USC was down 66-63, and they scored the last 5 points in a row and win 68-66. Winners find a way to win. That's what they do. So it's been obviously a disappointing season, and I think the move had to be made. Like, it 100% had to be made. You couldn't keep going. You were already starting to lose the fan base. You couldn't continue to lose the fan base. That was going to end up hurting you a lot. So, Saints fans, Cowboys fans. Saints news, Dennis Allen is out as head coach. Cowboys news, Dak Prescott is hurt. Hamstring injury. It looks like he'll miss a few weeks. Where are we at? Both teams have been terrible. Both teams have not been good. So, Cowboys fans, Saints fans, where you at? And it's even worse for Cowboys fans around here because you lost to the Saints, got blown out by the Saints. Love to hear from you. Patrick Netherton Show, 1130 The Tiger, 103.3 FM, off and running. And we're going to take a break. Come back with more after this on the Patrick Netherton Show.
Louisiana Blue, Louisiana True.
Shop Dell Technologies' early holiday savings event for their lowest prices of the year. The future is on sale today with limited time deals on select PCs like the XPS 16 that accelerate AI with Intel Core Ultra processors. Early holiday savings is their biggest sale of the year and the best time to upgrade, but it's only here for a limited time. Shop now at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
It's football season, and Uber Eats is dropping undefeated deals on all your game day favorites. This week, score buy one, get one free Crunchwrap Supremes from Taco Bell, only on Uber Eats. Craving even more? We've got you covered with game day deals on pizza, burgers, wings, and more, all season long. Uber Eats, official on-demand food delivery partner of the NFL.
Order Taco Bell for game day now through November 17, 2024. Second item of equal or lesser value. Terms apply. See app for details.
The all-new Tiger Den at Jimmy Grande Outdoors is now open in the Shreveport Auto Mall. The Tiger Den is a super fan superstore. All your favorite team colors and apparel for women, men, and kids, even infants. Polo shirts from brands like Cutter and Buck, cool hats and caps, boots and belts, purses and jewelry. Oh, you are going to love the jewelry. The Tiger Den has everything for decorating and serving on game day, even custom game day t-shirts. The Tiger Den at Jimmy Grande Outdoors, a super fan superstore, now open in the Shreveport Auto Mall.
You've heard a lot of remarkable things about the Pearl Restaurant, located at Fern and 70th. In addition to the incredible food and drinks, the Pearl is now open for dinner 7 days a week, plus lunch or brunch on the weekends. The bar opens at 3, the restaurant opens at 4 Monday through Thursday, and it opens at 11 a.m. all weekend long. Amazing Louisiana-style food with flavor profiles unlike anything you'll find in the state. A 47-foot bar serving signature cocktails, spirits, wine, and beer. An unrivaled selection of both raw and cooked oysters. Plus, the Pearl is serving up amazing old-school favorites like burgers and certified Angus steaks, dry-aged and rubbed in their special pearl dust. Both the burgers and steaks are Rogers Hampton approved, which is the most prestigious award that a food can receive. The Pearl Restaurant, 6871 Fern Avenue, right off East 70th. Whether you want an amazing lunch on the weekend or an elegant dinner any day of the week, the Pearl has you covered. Let them treat you right at the Pearl.
Michael and Justin Greene have great news about Bobby L. Greene, your home team.
We saw the need for a heating and cooling contractor that could do the same thing that we've offered plumbing services for many, many years, and we decided to jump into the AC and heating space.
We just saw the opportunity to provide another service to our customers, to be a one-stop shop, to take care of their needs and be there and provide the same quality service that we've always provided.
3 generations of local service. Bobby L. Greene, 318-631-0235.
Restore me, refuel me, rejuvenate me. RejuveMeMedical.com.
Shreveport Bossier's own Radiance Technologies Independence Bowl is set for December 28th, and iBowl Weekly is your road to the bowl. Tune in each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. right here on 1130 The Tiger. Radiance Technologies iBowl tickets are on sale now, so get them while they're hot, and be right here each week for Inside the iBowl, Wednesday 6 to 7 on 1130 The Tiger. Shreveport Bossier's own Radiance Technologies Independence Bowl is set for December 28th.
Welcome back to the Patrick Netherton Show.
Patrick Netherton Show, 1130 The Tiger. Rogers, was this describing you back in the day, back in high school and college? I feel like this could have been your anthem back in the day. Just cruising around, the ladies, all that. You can find us on 1130 The Tiger. That's on the AM dial. You can also find us on 103.3 FM. That is obviously the FM dial if you want to find us. We are excited to have you with us. It is the Patrick Netherton Show, 1130 The Tiger, 103.3 FM. You can also stream the show on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch if you want to find us on any of those spots. Don't forget, you can call the show if you like, the Pearl Shreveport hotline. I'm anticipating we might hear from EH today, since we had a big discussion about this last week. He is our resident Saints fanatic. But EH, who you might call in on the Pearl Shreveport hotline, 318-725-5945. Or you can text the show on the Bobby L. Greene Plumbing text line, 318-657-0HAM, 318-657-0426. Let's see. Taylor sent a pick in, but they don't play until Tuesday. Well, Taylor, if you may want to send that pick back in then, in case I forget it. Tornado 13 said, I'm not the type to enjoy a firing, but it had to happen with Dennis Allen. I wish the Cowboys would do the same with McCarthy, but the question there is, does Dak's injury now buy McCarthy more time? Yeah, so again, we were kind of talking about the nature of having, again, a cushion, leeway, a little built-up equity, if you will, right? Dennis Allen doesn't have that. Dennis Allen's never been successful as a head coach. Even last year, he was 9-8. That's by far the best record he's ever had as a head coach. And he tied for the division, which is great, but they didn't go to the playoffs. It's a little different in Dallas. The expectations are not just that you win the division, not just that you win 12 games. It's that you get to the playoffs, but also advance in the playoffs and get to an NFC title game and get to a Super Bowl and have an opportunity to play in the Super Bowl, that kind of thing. That's what they are looking for in Dallas. They don't want just sorry, we're having some connectivity issues apparently, and apologies for that. So I'll just keep chattering. I don't know why we're dealing with some connectivity issues. That's odd. Yeah, it says I'm connected, but apparently I'm not going through. Obviously, anybody who's watching on the stream, you're still getting the show. But I don't know why we're struggling. All right, I'm going to send Hambone a message real quick. Let me do this. Sorry, everybody that's watching on the stream, but I'm trying to get us back going on the radio side. So apologies. This, at least if you're watching the stream, you actually get to see me, which I guess helps. It's not just theater of the mind. Okay, sending a new link to Hambone. That's correct. All right. We'll see if this helps. If we can get reconnected and maybe it'll hold up. I don't know. We've had more problems with clean feed here over the last little bit than we have in a while. Yeah, I do hear a little music being played. Hopefully that's better. Hambone, you got me okay, brother? Everything?
Hello.
Hey, Coach O. Coach O, right in my ear. Well, hopefully this holds up. I don't know what's going on with clean feed lately. We've been having some issues with it. So hopefully this holds up and we can move forward. We were just talking about, I'm not sure where I left off on the radio, folks. Tornado 13 had asked if the injury to Dak buys Mike McCarthy more time. And I honestly, the main issue for me with Mike McCarthy is he has a Super Bowl, right? This is a guy who's won a Super Bowl. This is a guy who has won 12 games the last couple of years. He's a guy that feels like he's earned a little bit of leeway, a little bit of cushion, a little bit of equity, right? Like he's built up equity in the franchise, and so it feels like he's a guy that has done enough to warrant being patient with him, right? Injuries, whatever. Like if Jerry Jones like, I don't think he should bring Mike McCarthy back, but I also don't think Mike McCarthy's the problem in Dallas. And I think every Dallas fan out there knows what the problem is. The only Dallas fan who doesn't know what the problem is the guy who's running the organization. He's the guy that doesn't understand that he's the problem. So, yeah, I look at that and I say, at some point, Jerry Jones has got to figure out that he needs to step away from the football decision-making side of things. Whether that is he goes to, it just becomes the owner, right, and handles ownership decisions, and hires a GM to come make football decisions. Whether that's he is, steps away completely, sells the team. I don't know. I don't know what the scenario is, but he can hire Bill Belichick. He can hire Nick Saban. Right? He can hire the greatest coaches in the history of coaching, but as long as he's the guy pulling the trigger on everything and he's the GM and he's unwilling to cede control of drafting, of free agency, of all of that, like he thinks he knows better. And so it's no coach is going to be able to come in and have success with those as the parameters. And so, to be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if he kept Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy's coming off of 2 back-to-back 12-win seasons. Now, they flamed out in the playoffs, and Dallas, by and large, is way more about playoff wins than anything else, right? Like, that's what they want. They want to win playoff games. It is not good enough in Dallas that you win 12 games or you win the division. Like you need to win playoff games and get to an NFC title game and get to a Super Bowl, right? Or win a Super Bowl. Like that's the standard in Dallas, a standard they haven't reached in decades. But it's also been since Jimmy left and Jerry took over. And Jimmy wasn't there making the football decisions anymore. And Barry Switzer was smart enough to kind of stay out of the players' way. He just stayed out of the way and let the players basically run the organization. He just kind of provided the figurehead and let the organization run itself at that point. And then obviously Jerry started putting his fingerprints on it a little bit more, and that's what caused all the issues. All right, let's go back to the Bobby L. Greene Plumbing text line, 318-657-0HAM, 318-657-0426. Randy Bradford asks, have they said who the interim coach is going to be? Yeah, Randy, they said it would be Darren Rizzi, the special teams coordinator. I don't believe he has been a head coach. Certainly not in the NFL level. Let's see. Darren Rizzi, special teams coordinator. He was the assistant head coach in 22. Let's see. Graduated from high school in New Jersey. Played tight end for Rhode Island. Began his coaching career in college. Transitioned to the NFL in 08 with the Dolphins. He coached with the Dolphins from 09 to 18 and with the Saints from 19 until now. He has been a head coach a couple of times. He was the head coach at New Haven for 2 years or 3 years, and he was the head coach at Rhode Island for a year. And then the next year moved to be an assistant with the Miami Dolphins. So that's the Darren Rizzi profile there, if you will. So, he was already the assistant to the head coach. he is, he makes sense. Makes sense. Jeff on the Bobby L. Greene Plumbing text line said, I can handle the Saints being terrible only because they destroyed the Cowboys earlier this year. So I know that as bad as the Saints have it, the Cowboys have it worse this year. This feeds my soul as a Saints fan. Well, it feeds your soul as a Shreveport area, Arklatex area Saints fan. That's what feeds your soul, is knowing that this was a group that we're in the area where there are lots of Cowboys fans, lots of Saints fans, and the Saints fans having a one-up on the Cowboys fans is certainly something around here. That means something. Middlebrook said, after the Rams, we have the Commanders at home December 15th. I think during the Browns game, there may be more Winston jerseys than other Saints jerseys, and there may be more Jaden Daniels jerseys against the Commanders than Saints jerseys, at least more than Derek Carr jerseys. Yeah, I don't want to say I feel bad for someone making, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars. I don't want to say I feel bad for Derek Carr, but I kind of do. He was put in a largely untenable situation with the idea that he had to basically take over and be the guy that replaced Drew Brees, right? He was supposed to be the next guy after Brees, and that's just not a great place to be. You don't want to be the guy that follows the guy, right? You want to be the guy that follows. Like the next quarterback for the Saints is going to have had Derek Carr as sort of a buffer, right? And you can say what you want. Jameis was never going to be that guy. Andy Dalton was never going to be that guy. That's not who we're talking about. We're talking about the guy that would come in and be sort of a year after year, longer term quarterback. And it just, you don't have that. Derek Carr doesn't feel like that. It's not that he's a bad quarterback. He's just not great. It's hugely unfair to compare almost anyone at quarterback to Drew Brees. Like, it's almost unfair to have that comparison be made, because Drew Brees is one in a million, right? He's a once in a lifetime type of guy. To come to New Orleans when he did, to basically help the team recover from Katrina, to become such a stalwart of the community, such a massive part of who the Saints are and who the city of New Orleans is and was. That's something that's irreplaceable. So whoever was going to come in as his replacement was going to have a massive uphill climb, no matter what. Like, it was already going to be a huge problem for whomever was going to be the replacement. So to have it be, a guy that is sort of an outsider, right? He's done everything he can. He's played hurt. Like, I kind of feel bad for him because he has basically been put in an untenable position to try to be the guy that replaces Drew Brees, and you can't. That guy doesn't exist. Right now, if the Saints had gone and gotten Tom Brady, right, there was talk that at some point Tom Brady was going to come and be the quarterback for the Saints. And let's say he did what he did in Tampa, and he led the team to a Super Bowl, right? That would have been something. But he was never going to be the long-term answer. And what you're looking for right now is the long-term answer. And everyone was hoping that Spencer Rattler would, a couple of starts, maybe he would show that kind of progress and take the reins, and he would be the next guy. But as of now, he's not ready. The Jaden Daniels doesn't exist for the New Orleans Saints right now. So you got an issue. And Derek Carr, to his credit, has done everything right, has tried to do everything right, has been a good soldier, if you will, has come in and done as much as he can. But there's just nothing that he can do, short of, and especially now that the team is 2-7, there is just nothing that he could do. There would be no way for him to find a way to become what the city of New Orleans wants him to be. There's just no way for that to happen. So it's a bad spot. It's an untenable place, and I do feel bad for Derek Carr in some way. I don't feel bad for him. Obviously, he's making a lot of money, and he's a very rich man. By the way, Derek Carr also just became the first quarterback in history to lose to 31 different franchises. He apparently has a chance to make it all 32 it's the Commanders that he hasn't lost to yet. But yeah, as of right now, he has lost to 31 teams in the NFL. And if he loses, I believe it's the Commanders. If he loses to them, he will have lost to every team in the NFL, and no one has ever done that before in the history of the NFL. And it just goes to show you sometimes, right? Talent doesn't necessarily mean that a guy is going to find a way to get it done. You have to have the right team around them. You have to have the right group of people, the right amalgam of whether it be offensive guys, defensive guys, whatever. That is that's been gross, man. It's poor Derek Carr. Like I do feel for him. I'm not gonna lie. I feel for Derek Carr because he came in with a lot of expectations, and the thought would be that this is the guy. He's the guy for the next 3, 4, 5 years. He'd had a nice career, but not winning. But he's had thrown for a lot of yards, and he's very talented. Like he's got everything you want in terms of the tangibles. The one thing he doesn't have is a terrific 1-loss record. He's a little bit like Dennis Allen, right? They kind of are perfect for each other in that they both are talented. Like Dennis Allen, when he's a defensive coordinator alone, he's great. He is a terrific defensive coordinator. But as a head coach, he's not good. Derek Carr, kind of the same way, puts up great numbers, but the win-loss record is just not there. So what they opt to do at this point, where they go on the coach's continuum, I don't know. I don't know where they go. Rogers, I would be curious from your end. It feels like they have to go offensive coach, right? Like they can't go defensive coach again. Does that feel fair?
I really don't know, to be honest with you.
I mean, this is going to be a really fascinating.
Just because you go offense doesn't mean that's going to be a success.
No, it's true. It's true. But it feels like offensive coaches are having more success of late than defensive coaches are. That's just kind of what it feels like in the current state of the NFL. Obviously, the main guy is with the Chiefs, right? I mean, you look at Andy Reid. This is a guy that has won 3 Super Bowls, and obviously he's got the most talented quarterback in the league on his team. Kind of a once in a lifetime talent at QB. So he's got that. But it's also, he's a great coach, and he surrounds himself with good people. They've got a front office that does the job, that knows what they're doing. So yeah, it feels like Andy Reid is sort of the shining example. And you look at some of the other teams that are having success right now, and it feels by and large like more offensive coaches are. Dan Campbell, you could argue the Lions are the best team in the NFC. And Dan Campbell is a former offensive guy. But you could also argue that the best team in the NFC East, the Commanders, is Dan Quinn, who's obviously a defensive guy. Or Raheem Morris with the Falcons, defensive guy. So, look at the AFC. The Texans are coached by a defensive guy, and they're leading the South. The Steelers are coached by a defensive guy. Ravens are coached by a defensive guy. Bills are coached by a defensive guy, Sean McDermott. So it's, it's like you said, Roger, it's a crapshoot, right? It's vital that whoever you hire has the right people around him and also has the right front office personnel making decisions. That's the other part of this, is you have to have the right front office people, the right GM, the right scouting department, the right folks that are involved in the hiring process, assistant GMs and position coaches and coordinators. You need everybody kind of working together. And with a defensive-minded coach, you better have a good offense, right? You better have someone on that offensive side that knows what they're doing. The Texans with Bobby Slowick, right? That's someone who knows what the heck he's doing. The Bills is Rodgers is what's his face from Brady? Is Brady still with the Bills, or did he leave the Bills? Do you remember off the top of your head?
I don't know.
I think he still the offensive coordinator with the Bills. Obviously the former LSU offensive coordinator. He's still the offensive coordinator with the Bills. So you have a good coordinator to go with the Bills, right? And you keep looking around, and these guys have quality coordinators around them. Dan Quinn's got a great offense around him. Raheem Morris has a quality offense. They went and got Kirk Cousins, and that obviously was a great pickup for those guys. It's the totality of the organization. And the real question becomes, what will Gail Benson and Mickey Loomis and the brain trust for the Saints, what direction will they go, and what will happen? And that's what we're waiting to find out. So it is going to be fascinating. This is going to be, and look, apparently they're going to be looking throughout the course of the season, not just waiting until the end of the season. So we may hear some names before too long. I'll be honest with you, what I don't necessarily want is a retread. I don't want Bill Belichick in New Orleans. I really don't. He's a great coach, but what did he do without Tom Brady? And he was running his defensive coordinator over to call the offense. Without Brady and Josh McDaniels, he was a lot different. And that team was a lot different. So if you do go get a Belichick, it better be with a strong GM. It better be with a strong offensive coordinator that comes with it. Because the guy clearly knows how to coach football. There's no doubt about that. But he was a heck of a lot different when he didn't have Brady as his quarterback, and he didn't have McDaniels running the offense, and he didn't have what's his face that's now the coach at the Giants, right? Dayball. He didn't have him. He ran through a lot of guys at the offensive side, and when he didn't have those guys, their team was not any good. So I need to see the totality of the coordinators and the head coach to see, because look, Dennis Allen almost saved his job. He almost saved his job thanks to hiring Clint Kubiak, but then the injuries caught up, and again, he didn't have enough goodwill built up in his first couple of seasons to be able to withstand a 2-7 start, which is why I think Mike McCarthy might end up surviving this year with injuries mounting, because he's got the goodwill from the last couple of years to potentially survive. I don't think he will, but I could see where he would. I'll say that. All right, let's take a break. It's the Patrick Netherton Show, 1130 The Tiger, 103.3 FM. Rogers and Patrick, that's us. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Don't forget you can go and follow along with us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Our show brought to you by the Pearl, Shreveport, and Bobby L. Greene Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll take a break, come back right after this.
She grew up in an Indiana town, had a good-looking mama who never was around, but she grew up tall and she grew up right with them Indiana boys on an Indiana night.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm gonna have to find a new genius. or 2 half geniuses and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Prescription products require completion of an online consultation with an independent healthcare provider and are only available if prescribed. Subscription required. Additional restrictions apply. See website for more details and safety information.
Did you know millions of people are getting prescription medications for weight loss, sexual health, better sleep, and more, all online? RexMD.com has made getting these medications fast and easy, with free delivery of the most popular medications right to your door. Just fill out a brief survey, and if appropriate, we'll prescribe and ship clinically proven options to help with issues like weight loss.
I've lost 45 pounds so far. It's nice to get back into clothes that I haven't been able to wear for a long time.
We can also help with insomnia.
I slept through the whole night. It made me feel very well rested and ready to go for the day.
And RexMD can improve your sexual health.
I felt like a young man again. My wife is happier. I am definitely much happier.
At RexMD.com, we've made the process fast, easy, and affordable. Visit RexMD.com right now to get started. That's REXMD.com.
Are you ready to take your brand to new heights? At Town Square Media, your success is our ultimate goal. At Town Square Media, we understand that reaching your audience across various platforms is essential in today's fast-paced landscape. One size fits none in the realm of marketing. See firsthand how Town Square Media crafts tailored solutions that align with your unique goals. Whether it's increasing brand awareness, driving sales, or fostering community engagement, our ability to customize strategies that deliver exactly what you need when you need it. Town Square Media isn't just a partner. We're your brand's most passionate advocate. See how Town Square Media can transform your vision into a reality that resonates, engages, and inspires. Call and schedule your free business analysis today. 318-688-1130. 318-688-1130. Your brand story starts here with Town Square Media, where innovation meets impact and your success is our priority.
Hey, if you have ugly yellow toe fungus, you gotta hear about the secret 2-minute trick that I found for my husband. It works from both the inside and the outside. Thousands of people are using it to get rid of their toe fungus. You can check it out at crystalflesh.com. Jake started off with a small spot on his big toe and then it spread and got really bad. His toes were nasty. It was so embarrassing. He was afraid to take his socks off. He hid his yellow and crumbly toes from everyone. He tried everything to get rid of it. Nothing helped. And then we found crystalflesh.com. It was the only thing that worked. In just a few weeks, his toes looked amazing. He's now walking around barefoot again. You guys need to try this. I'm telling you, this stuff is different. It's not sold in stores, but go check it out at crystalflesh.com. They'll even let you try it risk-free so you have nothing to lose. But whatever you do, don't let it get worse. You don't have to live with this anymore. Go check it out now. Just click over to crystalflesh.com.
The all-new Tiger Den at Jimmy Grande Outdoors is now open in the Shreveport Auto Mall. The Tiger Den is a superfan superstore. All your favorite team colors and apparel for women, men, and kids, even infants. Polo shirts from brands like Cutter and Buck, cool hats and caps, boots and belts, purses and jewelry. Oh, you are going to love the jewelry. The Tiger Den has everything for decorating and serving on game day, even custom game day t-shirts. The Tiger Den at Jimmy Grande Outdoors, a superfan superstore, now open in the Shreveport Auto Mall.
Michael and Justin Greene have great news about Bobby L. Greene, your home team.
We saw the need for a heating and cooling contractor that could do the same thing that we've offered plumbing services for many, many years, and we decided to jump into the AC and heating space.
We just saw the opportunity to provide another service to our customers, to be a one-stop shop, to take care of their needs and be there and provide the same quality service that we've always provided.
3 generations of local service. Bobby L. Greene, 318-631-0235.
You've heard a lot of remarkable things about the Pearl Restaurant, located at Fern and 70th. In addition to the incredible food and drinks, the Pearl is now open for dinner 7 days a week, plus lunch or brunch on the weekends. The bar opens at 3, the restaurant opens at at 4 Monday through Thursday, and it opens at 11 a.m. all weekend long. Amazing Louisiana-style food with flavor profiles unlike anything you'll find in the state. A 47-foot bar serving signature cocktails, spirits, wine, and beer. An unrivaled selection of both raw and cooked oysters. Plus, the Pearl is serving up amazing old-school favorites like burgers and certified Angus steaks, dry-aged and rubbed in their special Pearl dust. Both the burgers and steaks are Rogers Hampton approved, which is the most prestigious award that a food can receive. The Pearl Restaurant, 6871 Fern Avenue, right off East 70th. Whether you want an amazing lunch on the weekend or an elegant dinner any day of the week, the Pearl has you covered. Let them treat you right at the Pearl.
Restore me, refuel me, rejuvenate me. RejuveMeMedical.com.
KWKH and K277DO Shreveport, 103.3 FM and 1130 The Tiger. Bossier City's home for LSU sports, a Town Square Media station.
Welcome back to the Patrick Netherton Show.
By the record machine, I knew he must have been about 17. He was strong, playing my favorite song, and I could tell it wouldn't be long that he was with me, yeah me. And I could tell it wouldn't be long that he was with me, yeah me. Singing.
Netherton Show, 1130 The Tiger, 103.3 FM, Rogers and Patrick, that's us. Hope everyone is having a wonderful Monday. And again, don't forget, it is the start of hoops season. If you weren't paying attention, I can't believe we're already here, man. We are into college basketball season. Got some top 25 matchups. Purdue taking on the Islanders of Texas A&M Corpus Christi. That's at 5 o'clock. Duke's taking on Maine. Tennessee facing Gardner-Webb. Texas A&M is on the road at Central Florida. How about that for Buzz Williams? Me and my 7 listeners will appreciate that. Cincinnati hosting UAPB, Kentucky hosting Wright State, Kansas has Howard, Houston facing Jackson State, Iowa State hosting Mississippi Valley, Marquette hosting Stony Brook, Florida against South Florida, Ole Miss against LIU, that's Long Island, Alabama against UNC Asheville, North Carolina against Elon, Arizona against Canisius, Texas is playing Ohio State in Vegas, Ryder traveling to UCLA, and then a big matchup tonight on ESPN2. That is a 10:30 game tonight with number 8 Baylor at number 6 Gonzaga. They're playing that at, not playing it at the Zags Arena, they're actually playing it at the big arena in Spokane. So that ought to be a lot of fun. Baylor at Gonzaga, which is part of the Findlay Auto Tip-Off. That's going to be a fun one tonight on ESPN2. Texas-Ohio State ought to be interesting. That's on TNT tonight at 9. That's the Hall of Fame series out in Vegas. So that one should be fun. And those are your top 25 matchups going on tonight. We mentioned tonight as well in the Southland Conference, Northwestern State hosting Dallas Christian. Hambone, how about your boys down at McNeese? They're going on the road to take on South Dakota State, the Jackrabbits, who are traditionally one of the stronger teams in college basketball, in that mid-major college basketball level. Obviously, McNeese is awesome as well. So, that's going to be at the Sanford Pentagon in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, with McNeese traveling to South Dakota State. You've got Paul Quinn at Lamar, Avila taking on HCU. A&M Commerce is traveling to Iowa. UT Rio Grande Valley is traveling to Nebraska. And then SFA, Southeastern, both hosting non-D1s. Nichols is traveling to New Mexico, and Incarnate Word is traveling to California Baptist. So all of that happening, and then again tonight at 6:30, you've got Dallas Christian in Natchitoches taking on the NSU Demons. So that ought to be fun as well. Cocky said North Florida at South Carolina this evening. Well, there you go. That should be fun. I enjoy when the early season basketball matchups are not all non-D1 at D1. I know you need those. I especially obviously like those in the first game or two where you can kind of work on things and rotations and usually get an opportunity to see different guys that come out and play, like all of that stuff. That all helps. So that's all good. Then, but I do enjoy when you get some of these matchups, like Baylor traveling to face Gonzaga, right? I'm sure Scott Drew and Mark Few both would rather have a game under their belt before they face an opponent as good as the opposition. But at the same time, they get to start off the season with a terrific matchup, and that's awesome. Like, that's really awesome. Buster just texted me and said, did the Saints fire Dennis Allen yet? Yes. We've been talking about it all day. Dennis Allen let go by the Saints actually right around 9 o'clock this morning. The Saints made the announcement, or it, all of the NFL insiders started figuring it out. Let's see. DB sent me on the Bobby L. Greene Plumbing text line, sent me a picture and said this was lunch last Wednesday in Waco, Texas, and it's at Terry Black's Barbecue. I'll say this for Terry Black's. They have expanded and have really done a nice job with their expansion. That looks like a beautiful place. Typically in Waco, you would go to, I think, Hellberg or Guess. Both of those are kind of the stalwarts in Waco, but you're not going to go wrong with Terry Black's. That's a quality spot, certainly. So yeah, not a bad spot to be in. Terry Black's anywhere, whether it's Waco or Houston or Dallas. They got the spot not too far from the Pecan Lodge in Dallas. So yeah, that's absolutely where it's at. Double J just texted me and said, I'm so confused with your time change. I tuned in on YouTube an hour and a half ago, and although it said live, it was a rerun of Friday's show. What time do you start now? Used to be 5 hours time difference, now it's 4. Double J, we're on same time, 1 to 3, man. Except now we've moved back an hour. Spring forward, fall back. So it is currently 2:08 in Shreveport, Louisiana. 2 o'clock in Shreveport. So whatever time it is in Hawaii is now you know. We started an hour ago, and we've got a little under an hour to go. So there you go. That's your time frame. Started an hour ago, and got a little under an hour to go. So hope that helps, Double J. And I'll say this: I have not been on a time change rant. I should be. I should have already. I hate standard time. It should not be getting dark at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Schenkenstein, did we do it? Did we save the daylight? Yeah. It should not be getting dark at 5 o'clock. Like, period. It just should not. It should not be getting dark at 5 o'clock. It should not be light at 5 a.m. Like, who are the people that are asking for this? And I know there's people out there that are, but who are these people? Who are these people? Right? Like, that, no one should be asking for this. No one should be desirous of it being dark. Now Rogers is at the point where it's dark when he gets up in the morning, and it's dark when he leaves to go home. Thanks to the time change. Like, none of that's good. That's not good stuff. Like, we do not need standard time. Do away with standard time. It's the worst time. Standard time sucks. Like, I'm sorry. Yesterday, it was 6 o'clock. I thought it was midnight. Like, it was literally 6 o'clock, and I swear it was midnight last night. It was absolutely the worst. So, I don't know who you people are that think standard time is cool. You can all go bite me. Because, no, standard time ain't cool. Do not need darkness befalling us in an hour from now. That ain't good. That ain't right. We ain't about that life. No, thank you. Like, just let's keep daylight saving time. And look, here's the thing, right? It's already, even before the time change yesterday, it was already starting to get dark at 6 o'clock, right? I mean, the seasons change and the amount of daylight hours change. The amount of sunlight changes as you go along. So it's not like this doesn't already occur. Like the days get shorter. That's how the seasons work. But by God, I don't need darkness at 5 p.m. It's the absolute worst. The worst. Hate it. Don't want to be anywhere near it. Daylight saving time forever. Like, let's just do it. Let's make daylight saving time the only time. Let's get everything set back the way it should be. Like, again, there will be no issue with the the daylight hours will get shorter in the afternoons. I mean, already Saturday darkness was here at like 6:30. Like, it's going to happen naturally. So let's just stick with it. Let's just stick with it, everybody. Can't we all agree to that? Can't we all agree that sticking with what we've got is better than all? And also the switching, right? It confuses everybody. Confuses everything. My sweet dog, he has no idea the time's changing. He's over here wanting to, he's like, what time is it again? I'm sorry, I'm supposed to eat by now. I'm like, no, you don't eat for another hour. Like, the hell you say, buddy? I'm eating right now. Like, that's the part that kills me. The animals don't understand. They want to wake up at the same time. They want to eat at the same time. Like, I'm like, no, buddy, it's an hour too early. He's like, the hell it is. It ain't an hour too early. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, come on, man. Let's do something else. I hate it. And it always reminds me, Rogers, and you know the story. It always reminds me of going back to the old days of Tell the Times, or To Tell the Times, whatever it was called. And it was what'd they say? The guy called in and he said, "Hey, the extra hour of light is killing my crops. The extra hour of sunlight," or no, it was somebody who just said the extra hour of sunlight's killing my grass. Like, what are you talking about, dude? There's no extra hour of sunlight. Time and clocks are just they're a man-made contraption. Oh, it's not on the same level as my hatred and disgust for Grandpa Joe, but it is on the list. It is 100% on the list of things that shouldn't be. We should not have standard time. Make daylight saving time standard time, and then let's move on with our lives. Ugh. Just the worst. Every time I feel like I swear last night it was 6 p.m. and I thought it was midnight. I can't handle it. It's not good. It's not good for any of us. And look, I get it. Your kids, you don't want them to stand out at the bus stop in the dark, and I understand all that. I don't care. Sorry, I don't care about your kids. I just don't. Let's keep daylight longer, and then we don't have to worry about it as much. I don't get it. Hey, don't forget our show is brought to you by the fine folks at the Pearl Shreveport. That's right, the Pearl Shreveport. They are simply the best in the business. No one any better than the Pearl. They are so good at what they do. From your seafood, Louisiana-style favorites like catfish atchafalaya that I had, which was catfish on a bed of grits with the corn grits with the sauce on top and the fried crawfish tails on top of that. Like, you talk about good. My goodness. Like, what is better than that? Nothing's better than that. There is nothing better than what the fine folks at the Pearl are doing. And from 3 to 5, you're talking about the ability to have half-price appetizers and half-price salads and half-price oysters. Like, come on, man. What more you need in life? Half-price salads, half-price appetizers, half-price oysters? Who's saying no to all of that? Like, what animals are out there going, you know what, I sure don't want any more of that half-price stuff? And drink specials from 3 to 5. Come on, man. What are you waiting for? Get to the Pearl. Go sit on the patio at 5 o'clock when darkness falls and enjoy. At least they have lights so that you can sit on the patio after dark at 4:30 p.m. enjoying your half-price appetizers and your half-price salads and your half-price oysters and your drink specials. It's all available to you at the Pearl. Go check them out, man. It's absolutely incredible. The Pearl is so good. So go see them. 70th and Fern Avenue. I was actually just there this afternoon. Had to meet Dear Leader over there to exchange some goods. And we met in the parking lot of the Pearl. Because why not? It's an iconic spot. 70th and Fern Avenue, that is where you find the Pearl. The white and brick building with the black awnings. You can't miss it. Absolutely the best in the business at what they do. Go see Robert and his crew. They are simply amazing. And of course, when you do, please go tell them you heard about it right here on the Patrick Netherton Show. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Cowboys fans, Saints fans, LSU fans. LSU, you got Bama coming up this weekend. What do you think? Tell us all about it. We'll be right back.
They catch you at the border, and the mourners are all singing as they drag you by your feet. But the hangman isn't hanging, and they put you on the street. Yeah, you go back, Jack, do it again. We'll turn it round and round. You go back, Jack.
Need top-notch construction equipment or cranes in Shreveport, Louisiana? Scott Equipment has you covered. As a trusted family-owned business, we offer a wide range of equipment for rent or sale. Whether you're tackling a big project or need reliable machinery, Scott Equipment is here to help. Stop by Scott Equipment on North Market today to learn more and find out how you can save for your next rental or purchase. Call or visit us now and get the job done right with Scott Equipment.
Sex trafficking is in your own backyard. The worst corridors from New Orleans to Houston. Victims are forced and coerced into trafficking, and their families are often involved. Metanoia Manor is a safe house for girls of sex trafficking. It helps them heal physically, mentally, spiritually, and provides education and life skills. Metanoia Manor is supported by donations, and we need your help. To donate, go to helpprotectthesegirls.com.
Nobody wants to get ripped off, broken into, or robbed, but nobody wants to pay a lot of money to have their home protected either. So let's give you a reason. Save money. For less than $1 a day with no other costs, you can get your home secured. Plus, get a lifetime equipment replacement warranty. You need protection for your home. Call the Home Security Hotline right now.
800-216-7531. 800-216-7531. That's 800-216-7531.
You've heard a lot of remarkable things about the Pearl Restaurant, located at Fern and 70th. In addition to the incredible food and drinks, the Pearl is now open for dinner 7 days a week, plus lunch or brunch on the weekends. The bar opens at 3, the restaurant opens at 4 Monday through Thursday, and it opens at 11 a.m. all weekend long. Amazing Louisiana-style food with flavor profiles unlike anything you'll find in the state. A 47-foot bar serving signature cocktails, spirits, wine, and beer. An unrivaled selection of both raw and cooked oysters. Plus, the Pearl is serving up amazing old-school favorites like burgers and certified Angus steaks, dry-aged and rubbed in their special Pearl dust. Both the burgers and steaks are Rogers Hampton approved, which is the most prestigious award that a food can receive. The Pearl Restaurant, 6871 Fern Avenue, right off East 70th. Whether you want an amazing lunch on the weekend or an elegant dinner any day of the week, the Pearl has you covered. Let them treat you right at the Pearl.
Michael and Justin Greene have great news about Bobby L. Greene, your home team.
We saw the need for a heating and cooling contractor that could do the same thing that we've offered plumbing services for many, many years, and we decided to jump into the AC and heating space.
We just saw the opportunity to provide another service to our customers, to be a one-stop shop, to take care of their needs and be there and provide the same quality service that we've always provided.
3 generations of local service. Bobby L. Greene, 318-631-0235.
Restore me, refuel me, rejuvenate. RejuveMeMedical.com.
The all-new Tiger Den at Jimmy Grande Outdoors is now open in the Shreveport Auto Mall. The Tiger Den is a superfan superstore. All your favorite team colors and apparel for women, men, and kids, even infants. Polo shirts from brands like Cutter and Buck, cool hats and caps, boots and belts, purses and jewelry. Oh, you are going to love the jewelry. The Tiger Den has everything for decorating and serving on game day, even custom game day t-shirts. The Tiger Den at Jimmy Grande Outdoors, a superfan superstore, now open in the Shreveport Auto Mall.
Hey LSU fans, I'm Tony Tiger. Join me this week on a special day and time, Wednesday night at 7, after iBowl Weekly, for Talking Tiger Football, presented in part by Carter Credit Union and Ray Ford. We'll talk 1 hour of LSU football, a game preview, the game day forecast, and your chance to win with the Dilla's Quesadillas trivia question. Talking Tiger Football, this week, Wednesday night at 7, on the home of LSU Sports, 103.3 FM and 1130 The Tiger.
It's time for the main course with Rogers Hampton. Here's your host, Patrick Netherton.
Patrick Netherton Show, 1130 to 103.3 FM. Rogers, who's this? Oh, okay. I was wondering what, because Trey dropped BOC, and I couldn't figure out who he. I was like, is the group called Bach? I was like, was he trying to say Bachman Turner Overdrive? But I was like, that's usually BTO. Like I was confused. I know the song, I didn't remember the artist. Blue Oyster Cult, that makes sense. Rogers, not enough cowbell in this song, really, if you think about it, for Blue Oyster Cult. Patrick Netherton Show, 1130 The Tiger, 103.3 FM. Would love to hear from all of the various Saints, Cowboys fan, and also I'd love to hear anybody who would like to defend standard time, right? Where are you standard time defenders out there? And if you can defend it without using, I don't want my kids to stand at the bus stop in the dark. Like, if you can give me a better defense, then I don't want my kids to stand at the bus stop in the dark. I would appreciate that. Cocky said maybe I need to move towards the equator. I mean, I'm pretty close to the equator, Cocky, for, you know, you can't get a whole lot further south than Shreveport, at least when it comes to the United States. I mean, I guess I could go move to Mexico or, you know, somewhere in South America or something, but it'd make the show a little more difficult. You know, clean feed probably doesn't work the same in Mexico or Colombia or Argentina or wherever else. Double J said farmers don't need daylight saving time anymore. They now have grow lights. Yeah, again, going back to that Tell the Times when the guy said, I hate daylight saving time because the extra hour of sunlight kills my crops. Yeah, not an extra hour of sunlight. Just the same amount of sunlight. Well, actually, the sunlight gets a little bit less as you go through the winter. Doc Waldo on the Bobby L. Greene plumbing text line said an old Indian once said only a white man would cut a foot off the bottom of a blanket and sew it to the top of the blanket and think you have a longer blanket. Yeah, I mean, look, time is simply a construct, right? Like our idea of time is simply a construct. We could call this flurb o'clock if we wanted to. It doesn't matter. We could say that this is the middle of the night. That wouldn't matter. Like any of that is the same. Like all of that is the same. It's just a construct of humanity. The sun is going to rise and set as it always does. The daylights will get shorter because of the rotation and axis tilt of the Earth. We will have fewer hours of daylight, and then we will have more darkness. Like all of that just happens through the course of you know, changing seasons. But the idea that we call right now 2 o'clock is simply a construct of us. Like that's just humanity constructing that. So why do we need to change the time? What are we doing it for? Like who's actually being helped by this? Not anybody I know. I hate it. Grr. Some serious animosity going on around here. I can tell you that. All right, if you didn't hear the big stories from the top of the show, Dak Prescott is out for an undetermined length of time, expected to miss several weeks with a hamstring injury. He is going to seek a second opinion. Also, CeeDee Lamb injured his shoulder. The shoulder is sore, but the injury is not considered serious. And so he is expected to be able to play this weekend against the Philadelphia Eagles. The Cowboys also could be getting defensive end Micah Parsons back from the high ankle sprain. One insider told Adam Schefter that Parsons should be back against the Eagles. So there you go. I saw, I saw Dak kind of looking at his hand at one point, but I was not watching the game when he suffered the hamstring injury. Apparently, he had a 5-yard scramble late in the third quarter, and on the next play, he was grimacing as he threw a wobbler to Jalen Brooks. He said, I felt it when I was getting up from the run. I can't even say that I felt it running. Maybe it was something on the tackle. But when I was standing up, I felt something. Didn't think it was much. You get tired, physical game. A lot of times you feel different things. They kind of go away. He said when he got to the top of his drop back on that next pass, he felt something he said, I felt something I've never felt. It was tough to walk on it at that point. Asked the medical staff whether he could make the injury worse if he continued to play, and was told he would not be able to protect himself. So they pulled him out. He was 18 of 24 for 133 yards and 1 touchdown. Look, it's the issues for the Cowboys are not all obviously endemic to Dak. There are other issues that are at play for that team, but it certainly does not help when your starting quarterback is also getting hurt. Like that's not going to help things at all. So, yeah, a rough go of it, obviously, for Dak Prescott. So, Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. I would be surprised. I would be surprised if the Cowboys move. Go anywhere, do anything at this point. By the way, the trade deadline is tomorrow. If you hadn't figured that out, trade deadline tomorrow. So, going to be interesting to see what happens now. Now that the Saints have made the coaching change, is this a scenario where they look at do they look at what's happening with their team and say, okay, this feels like now we've got a chance? Or do they look at this and go, okay, well, we obviously don't have a chance, like we're going to become sellers? Do they sell now? That's to me kind of the interesting question that comes with the Saints. And for that matter, what do they have to sell? Right? They've got a lot of guys that are locked into a lot of different contracts, and their salary cap is kind of a mess. It feels like maybe this is a hard reset, right? Maybe you try to stock up some draft picks. Maybe you try to stock up some, cut some salary loose. Marshawn Lattimore certainly is a piece that you could move. Maybe this is a scenario where you make some moves to try to build for the future, and you blow up a little bit of this, right? You've got pieces that I think you could move. There's some guys that are owed some money, but I feel like you could probably move from some guys and blow it up a little bit. Understand that new coach, you're going to have a year or two grace period, and then hey, maybe you get it done. I don't know. Cocky said, I wonder if Rodgers could pull up Godzilla by the Blue Oyster Cult. I don't know. I don't know if that's in the system. I don't know if Rodgers even cares to look. But I've sent the request in, Cocky. That's all I can do on the request line. Rock and Raj on the request line on a Monday. Double J said that cutting off the blanket proverb can apply to the Saints' salary cap situation. Wondering why Michael Thomas has decided to take on both Breeze and Carr. Can't we all just get along? I have not heard his stuff with Breeze. I saw all the stuff with Carr, but I didn't see any of the stuff with Breeze. So you may have to fill me in on some of that. But obviously saw the stuff with Carr. It's a bit of a mess, man. Marco brings up a good point that I haven't even talked about on 4th and 4, and you throw a fade pattern. Like, obviously you're looking for the right matchup, but you're telling me that on 4th and 4, your best matchup is a one-on-one with a 5th receiver. Coming into the season, this guy was 4th, 5th, 6th on the depth chart, and your best matchup on a 4th and 4 with your season on the line is to throw a fade to that guy in one-on-one coverage. I don't buy that. Apparently the first read was Juwan Johnson across the middle, and from what I saw, when Carr was letting the pass go, Juwan Johnson was just making his break and looked like he was going to have a little bit of separation on like a little 5-6 yard in route, and looked like you'd be able to fit the ball into him. But why? Look, you were without Olave with another concussion. Poor Olave, man. That dude's career, kind of like Tua, right? That dude's career might be in jeopardy. Had a concussion in his senior year at Ohio State. He's had concussions every year. He's had multiple concussions this year. So it's just been a mess for that group. And yeah, I don't know. Michael Thomas is obviously disgruntled. We can see that. And by the way, where is he playing again? Exactly. For a guy that came into the league with so much, a lot of kind of hype, and then turned that into just a remarkable couple of year span where he led the NFL in receptions. I believe he set the NFL record for receptions, maybe. I know he had a ton of them, and he led the league in receptions, and he was Drew Brees' #1 target, and they hooked up a ton. late in Breeze's career, like that was his guy. And then obviously a bunch of kind of odd injuries, foot injury, hamstring, I believe, like a lot of just weird injuries that he had. And then they let him go. And by the way, he's not playing anywhere. You know, that's the other thing to remember. It's not like this guy has caught on somewhere and some team is like, yeah, we're bringing him in. We're gonna roll with Michael Thomas. Like no one has done that. No one is rolling with Michael Thomas right now. Double J said Thomas had a riff with Breeze during the George Floyd situation. Oh, okay. Whatever. I thought it was having to do something with Breeze's arm, but I mean, Breeze threw so many passes to Michael Thomas. There's no way Michael Thomas should be mad about what Drew Brees did on the field. That's for sure. Whether you're mad at him off the field, whatever. Like you vote for Trump, you vote for Kamala, you're a Republican, you're a Democrat, you're a fascist, you're a commie. Like, I don't care about any of that. Speaking of, do want to encourage everyone to vote tomorrow. If you have not already voted, exercise your civil right, your civic duty. It is the number one thing that makes our country great, is that we, the people, do get to elect our leaders. I'm not a huge fan of the Electoral College system. I kind of believe whoever gets the most votes should win. But that being said, I will again say, go vote tomorrow if you have not already voted. I already voted. I early voted, so I don't have to worry about it tomorrow. Please go vote. Make your voice heard. I know Louisiana is going to be a Trump state. Like we know Louisiana is going to Trump. So if you vote for Kamala, your vote's likely not going to really count per se. That's part of the reason why I'm not a fan of the Electoral College. People in Republicans in California or New York and Democrats in Louisiana and Texas and Mississippi, by and large, don't have a lot of say. You know, all of the electoral votes from the state go to whichever candidate. And if you don't, if I'm voting blue in Louisiana, all my votes are going to Trump, and that's not what I wanted. I want my vote to count for who I vote for, whether it's that guy or the other guy. So that's my issue with the Electoral College. Very quickly, most people are like, well, you're going to have the coastal elites decide the election. No, there's still a ton of people in the middle of America that vote. The difference is you will not have you will not have the election decided by 4 states, basically. Is what I mean. Look, you think a popular vote would just come down to the biggest populated areas? Well, guess what? The Electoral College is coming down to 4 states. Trump and Harris and Walz and Vance are not. None of them are coming to Louisiana to hold rallies and talk to us. They don't have to. Everyone knows Louisiana is going red, and so no one needs to visit here. Whereas if my vote counted the same as everyone else's vote, and all of my electoral delegates didn't go to one person or the other, depending on no matter how I voted, it would be nice. It would just be nice to have my vote count as much as everyone else's vote. Because whether I'm voting Harris or whether I'm voting Trump, and if you listen to my show, you probably know which way I voted. But that doesn't matter. Doesn't matter in Louisiana. But still, go vote. There's other races on the ticket. There's an amendment on there. Educate yourself. And I always encourage you, whether you're voting Republican, Democrat, Independent, you're voting against somebody, you're voting for somebody, you don't like Harris, so you're voting for Trump, you don't like Trump, so you're voting for Harris. You're voting for Harris, you're voting for Trump, whatever the case may be. Go out and exercise your rights, all right? That's what makes our country great. Get out there and vote tomorrow. I believe, Rogers, do you know offhand, I mean, neither of us have kids that age anymore. Do you know offhand, are schools out tomorrow?
I have no idea.
I think I heard somewhere that schools were out tomorrow. And obviously, I don't have a kid in school. Rogers doesn't have a kid in school. So we're not the right people to ask, but I thought I heard that school was out tomorrow for some reason. Also, I was shopping earlier and I saw a bunch of school-age kids at Target. And I'm like, wait a second. I didn't understand why all the school-age kids were out. Also, Rogers, I saw a lady walking into Target by herself, and then I realized there was just a guy in camouflage walking next to her. All right, on that note, let's take a break. Yeah, I knew Rogers couldn't wait to hit the music fast enough on that one. As I said, look, the day that I stop enjoying or making camo jokes is the day that I want to. You can go ahead and put me in the ground. When camo jokes aren't enjoyable to me anymore, then I know I've lost the will to live. Tornado 13 said schools are out. Nettles asked about the Pearl Upset Special. Nettles, I have not done the Upset Special. I will get on it late tonight, early tomorrow morning, and I will get it done, and we will have the winner tomorrow. But apologies, I just got caught up in getting my prep work done for my games. Got basketball tonight, basketball tomorrow, and then Thursday, volleyball. So I've been trying to get my prep done for all of that. And so apologies for not having the Pearl Upset Special handled today, but we will get it done tomorrow. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back and wrap this bad boy up. It's the Patrick Netherton Show, 1130 The Tiger, 103.3 FM. We'll be right back.
The following is a paid program. Participants of this program are not employees of this station, and their views, opinions, and claims do not necessarily represent those of Town Square Media, its employees, or advertisers.
Want to win big with Jimmy Granger Outdoors Tiger Den? We've got your chance. Just stop by and register in person or download the 11:30 a.m. The Tiger app for your chance to win tickets to each LSU home game this season. You'll also score with gas money and road snack money, plus a pair of game day shirts from the Tiger Den. All roads lead to LSU. From Jimmy Granger Outdoors Tiger Den and 11:30 a.m. The Tiger, where you can hear every LSU football game and all that is LSU. Go Tigers!
Shop Dell Technologies' early holiday savings event for their lowest prices of the year. The future is on sale today with limited time deals on select PCs like the XPS 16 that accelerate AI with Intel Core Ultra processors. Early holiday savings is their biggest sale of the year and the best time to upgrade, but it's only here for a limited time. Shop now at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey there, Shreveport. Are you tired of boring cookie-cutter marketing campaigns that put you to sleep faster than a lullaby? Then it's time to switch to Town Square Shreveport. We're not your average marketing agency. Our team of experts is like the Avengers of advertising, with each member bringing their unique superpowers to the table. Need a killer social media strategy? We've got you covered. Want a website that looks like it was designed by a unicorn? We can make it happen. Need a radio commercial that's funnier than your grandpa's jokes? Well, we can't promise that, but we'll try our best. At Town Square Shreveport, we don't just create marketing campaigns, we create experiences that people will remember for years to come. So if you want to be the talk of the town, call us for your free business analysis at 318-688-1130. 318-688-1130. Town Square Shreveport. We're not just good, we're hilarious. Okay, maybe not hilarious, but we're definitely worth a shot.
Shop Dell Technologies' early holiday savings event for their lowest prices of the year. The future is on sale today with limited time deals on select PCs like the XPS 16 that accelerate AI with Intel Core Ultra processors. Early holiday savings is their biggest sale of the year and the best time to upgrade, but it's only here for a limited time. Shop now at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Michael and Justin Greene have great news about Bobby L. Greene, your home team.
We saw the need for a heating and cooling contractor that could do the same thing that we've offered plumbing services for many, many years, and we decided to jump into the AC and heating space.
We just saw the opportunity to provide another service to our customers, to be a one-stop shop, to take care of their needs and be there and provide the same quality service that we've always provided.
3 generations of local service. Bobby L. Greene, 318-631-0235.
You've heard a lot of remarkable things about the Pearl Restaurant, located at Fern and 70th. In addition to the incredible food and drinks, the Pearl is now open for dinner 7 days a week, plus lunch or brunch on the weekends. The bar opens at 3, the restaurant opens at 4 Monday through Thursday, and it opens at 11 a.m. all weekend long. Amazing Louisiana-style food with flavor profiles unlike anything you'll find in the state. A 47-foot bar serving signature cocktails, spirits, wine, and beer. An unrivaled selection of both raw and cooked oysters. Plus, the Pearl is serving up amazing old-school favorites like burgers and certified Angus steaks, dry-aged and rubbed in their special Pearl dust. Both the burgers and steaks are Rogers Hampton approved, which is the most prestigious award that a food can receive. The Pearl Restaurant, 6871 Fern Avenue, right off East 70th. Whether you want an amazing lunch on the weekend or an elegant dinner any day of the week, the Pearl has you covered. Let them treat you right at the Pearl.
Restore me, refuel me, rejuvenate me. RejuveMeMedical.com.
The all-new Tiger Den at Jimmy Grande Outdoors is now open in the Shreveport Auto Mall. The Tiger Den is a superfan superstore. All your favorite team colors and apparel for women, men, and kids, even infants. Polo shirts from brands like Cutter and Buck, cool hats and caps, boots and belts, purses and jewelry. Oh, you are going to love the jewelry. The Tiger Den has everything for decorating and serving on game day, even custom game day t-shirts. The Tiger Den at Jimmy Grande Outdoors, a superfan superstore, now open in the Shreveport Auto Mall.
Tiger weather now.
Cloudy and breezy for us here tonight with scattered showers and storms possible. Temperatures tonight drop down into the low part of the 70s. Cloudy skies Monday morning with showers and storms. Clouds break up through the afternoon, letting in some sunshine. It'll be breezy to windy and warm Monday. Highs in the low to mid 80s. Scattered showers, storms possible Tuesday, low 70s. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
The previous program was paid for by Tim Fletcher. KWKH and K277DO Shreveport, 103.3 FM and 1130 The Tiger. Your home for LSU sports, a Town Square Media station.
Floating through the airwaves like smooth hickory smoke, Patrick Netherton.
Come down. Fire in your veins. So urgent. Our show brought to you by the fine folks at Bobby L. Greene Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Well, the way our weather's been going, you kind of need a little bit of everything, right? You need a little plumbing because we've had some rain, and that can tend to kind of mess some things up with your plumbing. You need some heating because we have had a couple of cool mornings, right? Mornings that have been in the 40s. You need some cooling because we keep having highs in the 80s. So you need a little bit of everything. Plumbing for your pipes, and then heating and cooling, gas work, all of that done by the fine folks at Bobby L. Greene Plumbing. You can find them by hitting them up on their website at greeneplumbing.com, Greene plumbing.com. I love the fact that they've got discounts on the website, right? They offer senior citizen discounts. They offer first responder discounts. They offer church and religious organization discounts. You add to that, they also will We'll help you out with financing, right? If you've got to do kind of a bigger job, sometimes that happens. You got a big job. It's not going to be easy to just do, not going to be one of those $200-300 gigs. It's going to cost you some money. It's some severe work. Pipes busted, all kind of stuff, and you need to find a way to pay for it, and you don't have the money on hand. They'll work with you. They'll finance it for you. All of that is available to you at Bobby L. Greene Plumbing. And look, that's great peace of mind. Because let's be honest, like I'm on glucose monitors. I got the which one do I wear? The Freestyle Libre, right? I wear the Freestyle Libre 2. And my insurance books them 90 days, a 90-day supply. Well, a 30-day supply is like $70, which, okay, I can pay $70 for something. But a 90-day supply becomes $220, right? Or $210, whatever. That's a little, that becomes a little less easy to do it once. So, the idea of being able to finance something is appealing. I'd rather pay $70 a month than pay $220 once. That's a harder hit on your budget. So I get it. And Bobby L. Greene Plumbing gets it. And that's why they offer financing available to you. You got a big job you need to get done. Don't think of it as I'm going to have to shell out whatever amount of money I got to shell out. Think of it as, hey, I'm going to be able to pay this off over the course of several months. It's not going to be the massive hit to my pocketbook. I'll be able to take care of it. It won't break me. And I'll be able to get the work done and have peace of mind. That's what you get at Bobby L. Greene Plumbing. 631-0235 is their phone number, 631-0235, or feel free to give them a shout over on their website. It is greeneplumbing.com, Greene plumbing.com. You can book an appointment through the website. That is a terrific way to do that as well. Bobby L. Greene Plumbing, heating and cooling. And of course, when you do, please let them know you heard about it right here on the Patrick Netherton Show. Boy, we didn't even really get into college football from this past weekend. We had so much stuff going on with the Dennis Allen firing and the Dak Prescott breaking news with the hamstring injury. There's a lot going on. That's for sure. Tornado 13 said schools are out. Marco said yes, schools are out tomorrow. Nettles said my two sons submitted for the first time ever, and Cade correctly picked Louisville over Clemson. No problem. Cannot wait to hear tomorrow. Love the show, Nettles. Thank you, Nettles. Appreciate that. We will. I'll go through, get them all marked down, and get it all figured out, and I will have it for you for tomorrow's show. Ping Pong said Cato was out Friday and today. Not sure about tomorrow. DeSoto is out. Said probably out tomorrow since some schools are polling places. Yeah, I live over not too far from University Elementary, and University is one of the polling places. So I know that they're out tomorrow because that's a precinct. And funny enough, my cousin is usually over there working. He's one of the assistant registrar voter people, and good dude. Quality human being, and I usually, matter of fact, I'll probably, me and my mom will probably just walk over there sometime tomorrow and just go visit, because it's her cousin, so I, may go over there and say hi. But yeah, so with that, we missed, we really didn't talk a whole lot about all the goings on in college football. By the way, tomorrow is quite a day. Not only is it election day, and obviously that will be going strong, but it's also the day that the first official college football playoff rankings come out. So we'll get to see all that. That'll be cool. You know how I feel about preseason polls, but that being said, hey, at least that'll be kind of fun to watch, and I will certainly be interested in what we had. Ohio State beating Penn State. Again, never have faith in James Franklin in a big game, and that bore out. Miami was down pretty big, and then scored 36 points in the second half to turn around and rout Duke. 53-31. Tennessee survived Kentucky. How about South Carolina? We told you we put it out there and said, look, you better watch out for A&M going to South Carolina, and South Carolina put it on them. It was 20 apiece at halftime, and South Carolina outscored A&M 24-0 in the second half to come away with that one. Texas Tech takes down previously unbeaten Iowa State. Louisville hands Clemson its second loss of the season. Indiana rolls on. They were behind for the first time all season long, as Michigan State got out 10-0 in the first quarter, and then Indiana outscored them 47-0 over the last three. Willie Fritz in Houston pulled off a big upset against Kansas State. SMU gives Pitt its first loss of the season, 48-25. Ole Miss routed Arkansas. I thought that would be a close game. And Ole Miss just absolutely destroyed Arkansas. Jackson Dart, 500 yards and 6 touchdowns. Just insane. Army remains unbeaten, beating Air Force 20-3. And Minnesota pulls the upset. One of the lines that I thought was really strange was Minnesota being a favorite on the road at Illinois. And Illinois ranked top 25. Minnesota was not. And it was on the road at Illinois, and I thought, man, what a weird line. I almost bet with it. That was one of those lines where I think I even mentioned it on Friday on Patrick's Picks and Moody's Moneymakers. It was one of those lines that Vegas was begging you to take Illinois because they knew that Minnesota was going to win. I don't know how they know these things. It's insane how Vegas is so good at this, but they knew. And that's one of those lines that is so weird that you bet it the way that Vegas is telling you, right? Where Vegas says, look, Minnesota, there's no way Minnesota should be a road favorite as an unranked team at a top 25 team, and they were, which tells you Vegas knows Minnesota's going to win and go with it. And so I almost made Minnesota one of my picks for Patrick's Picks and Moody's Moneymakers. Speaking of, I will give you the results of all of that tomorrow. We'll go over what went down on Patrick's Picks and Moody's Moneymakers. We'll have that happen. And we will also go through and give the Pearl Upset Special away as well. And again, apologies for not having that ready to go for tonight's action. I do apologize for that. All right. So I believe that will do it for us. For Rogers Hampton, again, apologies for the technical difficulties early, but glad we got it worked out and got back on the air and everything good to go for the rest of the broadcast. We've got some nasty storms coming through. Y'all please be safe and careful out there, right? Lay low, stay inside, don't go anywhere if you don't have to, all of that stuff, man. Take care of yourself. With the storms that are rolling through. For Rogers Hampton, I'm Patrick Netherton. Please be safe and careful. Want to see you back here tomorrow from 1 to 3. Tomorrow from 1 to 3. And enjoy the opening day of basketball season, everyone. See you tomorrow on the